Hey y'all, Southern Style Gaming here, and today I want to try to make a video about the election from a Christian perspective. Now, I'm going to be transparent here from the start. I think that the last 3 elections that this country has held has been 3 of the worst we have ever had. I think just genuinely that the last 3 elections, we have not had a single primary candidate that was actually worthy of the office of the presidency. So I'm going to start with the winner of 2 of the last 3 elections, Donald Trump. Now, I think Donald Trump is an ungodly man. He gives Christians, he gives the faith, and he gives God lip service. Now, if there's one thing that I can compliment Donald Trump on, it is the fact that he very well knows his audience. He knows what to say, he knows what to do, he plays the right music at his rallies. He is very, what I would call, carefully reckless with his words. You know, he carefully selects what he's going to say, but he makes it sound reckless enough to make it sound like he doesn't care what people think of him. But like I said, it's a very careful recklessness that he has with his words, and that's on purpose. That is very much on purpose, because like I said, Trump knows his audience. And he is trying to appeal to these people, and he does it very well. But at the end of the day, I just do not think that Donald Trump is a good and godly man. I mean, if you look, he's previously had ties with Jeffrey Epstein. That's automatically suspicious. And I know he cut ties with Epstein at some point, but I mean, at the end of the day, the things that he has said about his daughter, combined with the fact that he ever had any sort of ties to Epstein, does not look good. I mean, he has said some truly disgusting things about his daughter. I mean, it's insane to me that more people don't recognize this. Then on the other side, you've got Kamala Harris, who, let's just, for starters, I will never vote for someone who is pro-choice. I will never vote for a presidential candidate that affirms pro-choice beliefs. I'm sorry, I just won't. In fact, you know what? No, I'm not sorry. That's something I will never be in favor of. In fact, that's the whole reason that I didn't vote for Robert Kennedy. I would have voted for him if it weren't for his pro-choice leanings. But I'm sorry, I just can't get behind it. I think it's morally reprehensible. I think abortion is a terrible thing. It's just one of my convictions. And again, I'm sorry, but not sorry. Like, it's just one of the things. And on the other hand, she's a politician. And, I mean, as the old saying goes, you know a politician is lying when their mouth is moving. I don't trust a word she or any of her cohorts say. I don't think any of these elections for the past few years have been good elections. I think that we've strayed as a country from our Christian roots, and don't get it twisted, the United States was founded on Christian roots. Like, pretty much every group that came here early on were, in some form, majorly part of the faith. I mean, the Pilgrims, they were Christians. The Puritans that came here, they were Christians. Like, it's very much a country that was indeed founded on faith, and I think the fact that we've strayed from those roots are the reason why, let's be honest here, the United States really is not the greatest country in the world like it was 50 or 75 years ago. I hate to say it, but that's just the truth. I mean, we're really not. We have lost that place, and it's because of our recent leadership that I think has really tanked it so far. You know, like, we have not had a truly good leader, in my opinion, in many years. Possibly since the 60s. I think the last good leader we had was John F. Kennedy, and I think the last great leader we had was Eisenhower before him. Like, I think it's crazy that the United States, like, looks at our last few presidents, and mind you, I do actually think we had some good people in charge in that time. I would argue that Jimmy Carter might have been the best man we've ever had as a president, but he was not a good president. I mean, I'm sorry, he was too weak. You know, like, there is a point where as a president you can be too forthcoming, and I think that was really his problem. But that was admittedly as a result of the fact that he had an extremely well-tuned moral compass. And I think that, like I said, he was a great and godly man. So I can't really say anything bad about Jimmy Carter for that reason, because he really was possibly the best person we've ever had as a president. Now, Ronald Reagan, I think he's like Trump light. I don't think he was necessarily an ungodly man. I think he was just too simple, maybe. Like, I think he had great leadership qualities, and that's something that I would say about Trump if he wasn't so morally reprehensible. But at the same time, like Bill Clinton, yeah, Bill Clinton got the budget balanced. That's great, but the kind of person he was, I just can't stand behind it. Bush Jr. I mean, look, Bush Jr. might have been a good person, but he was a terrible leader. He was an awful leader. Yeah, he had passion, but I just don't really think he had much brains, and I don't think anybody would really argue that. And then, of course, like I said, I don't think we have had a good election in a long time. And I really think that this country is suffering from a lack of godly leadership. And I think we really need to get back on that track in 2028. I'll be honest with you. I think if J.D. Vance was to run himself as a presidential candidate, I would vote for him over anybody that ran in this election. I think that, honestly, Trump's VP would have been a better candidate than Trump was. And if I'm being honest with you, I think Vance might have actually won by a larger margin than Trump did, because he is a good and godly leader. So I really think that's all I've got to say. This video might have been a little rambly, but I'm trying to keep it short. I've had a sort of busy week. But I do want to leave y'all with a quick Bible verse, because I think that this is a very appropriate verse for our current times. And I just think that it's really especially applicable for the things that we seem to be facing in our country right now. And the passage I'm going to be reading from is the book of Psalms 72, verses 11 through 14, which reads in the New King James, "Yes, all kings shall fall down before him, all nations shall serve him. For he will deliver the needy when he cries, the poor also, and him who has no helper. He will spare the poor and needy, and will save the souls of the needy. He will redeem their life from oppression and violence, and precious shall be their blood in his sight." And I think that's the thing we see. We see a lot of needy people in this country today. We need the leadership that can inspire people to put more. It's like John F. Kennedy said, it's not what your country can do for you, it's what you can do for your country. The more we put in, the more we'll get out. And I think that's something that's sort of lost on a lot of people today. I just don't think they see the value in helping a government that they view as corrupt, that they view as weak, that they view as, morally black. I can see why a lot of people really don't like our government. And I think that these verses right here really sort of hit home on what we need to do moving forward. We need to move toward a more godly America, which is going to be a struggle in our increasingly secular society. But it's really what we need to do. And I think that if we can't at least begin this process, this country is just going to progressively get worse and worse. I hope that y'all were able to get something out of this video, and I hope that y'all can maybe contribute something to the conversation here. I'd really like to hear y'all's thoughts. What do y'all think about the election? Like, which side did you lean towards? Just as an aside here, I don't consider myself affiliated with either party. I think they're both corrupt. I think they both support some good and some bad things. But overall, I just think that our country has lacked godly leadership for a long time. Godly and strong leadership, I should say. But yeah, that's really all I've got for you today. So again, I hope y'all got something out of it. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed. Thank you for watching. God bless, and have a great day.